Memory is a boon to the humankind. Memory forms the basis due to which you identify, recognize, and know your loved ones, friends, neighbors, enemies, languages, skills, national anthem, and everything that you know about yourself and your environment. Everything is memory. If there is no such thing as memory, then you would live in a lost world where you would not know anyone, anything, and even yourself, even your name. Therefore, memory is a cognitive process whereby you remember your past experiences, and thus is the retention of information or experience over time. The Atkinson and Schifrin three-stage model of memory basically comprises of number 1, sensory memory, number 2, short-term memory, and number 3, long-term memory. And then the flow of information moves from sensory memory to short-term memory to long-term memory, right? So let me explain you in little detail how this works. So anything that happens externally, right, an external event that happens, it's like a sensory input. In sensory memory, environmental information is processed, right? Large capacity of information moves from sensory memory to short-term memory. In short-term memory, new information is received from sensory memory, and limited capacity for information is basically what it has. From there, it moves and stores in the long-term memory. Information encoded in short-term memory is stored here. Unlimited capacity of information, and potentially this is a permanent storage thing that happens. And from this long-term memory, you retrieve whenever you require to communicate, and that's typically how this entire thing works. So techniques for improving memory. It is very important for every individual, whether a professional, student, or housewife, to make sure that he or she is sharp and focused for every task that he or she has to perform. There are various methods or techniques that you can use to help you be sharp, stay in shape mentally, and perform every task successfully to the best of your abilities. So following are the few techniques that will help you sharpen your memory skills. Number 1 is exercising daily. Number 2 is using various mental stimulants. Number 3, listening to music. Number 4, controlling the diet. Number 5, playing games. Number 6 is meditating daily. Let us understand each one in little more detail and see how this technique actually works. Exercising daily. A research study by various experts has found that exercising your body helps to a great extent in enhancing your brain function. This is due to the fact that physical exercise increases the level of brain-derived neurotropic factors in your body. The brain-derived neurotropic factors is a substance that enhances communication between neurons and also helps in growth and survival of neurons. It has been found in these research studies that physical exercise can help enhance and boost you planning, multitasking, and organizing, and concentration skills as well. Physical exercise also helps in several other ways, such as making you happy and act as a mood uplifter, making you feel energetic and positive. The second one we're talking about is using various mental stimulants. You can sharpen your mind and help you better focus and work diligently by consuming appropriate doses of caffeine. Appropriate dosage is important. Caffeine acts as a stimulant which helps to promote the nervous system. When you consume caffeine, you tend to feel sharper and more energetic for a while, and it also increases your heart rate and blood pressure. Therefore, just before an important meeting or presentation, it is good idea to consume a cup of coffee to increase your alertness and attention. However, one should always be aware to avoid high dosages of caffeine, especially in short intervals, as it can have severe negative effects as well. Listening to music is the third one. One of the surest way to make your mind alert and energetic is by listening to music. The right kind of music that peps up a person's way may vary from one individual to another. So you should experiment and find out what is the right kind of music that makes you feel positive, energetic and enthusiastic. Right, not everyone would like the same kind of music. You need to see what is it that works for you, what is that suits for you, where is it that you feel more positive. Research studies have found that listening to music can help ward off many negative emotions such as fear and also activate your brain reward centers. Music also makes you feel very positive and energetic. The fourth one is controlling diet. Diet can be controlled by controlling intakes of fats, antioxidants, calories. Let's understand a little more detail on what are these three all about. When I say fats, a large part of your brain is made up of fat. Research studies have proved that eating a diet which is rich in specific types of fats can help in maintenance and reproduction of brain cells. Also, research has found that one should consume food rich in fatty acids, especially with high omega-3 fats, to enhance the health of your brain. The following foods that will enhance the omega-3 fats such as salmon, fishes, basically I'm talking about salmon, herring and different other fishes that works pretty well to increase the omega-3 fat. Nuts and seeds such as walnuts, pecan nuts and hazelnuts works wonders to get omega-3. Oil such as flaxseed oil also helps. Omega-3 supplements such as cod liver oil pills is the easiest thing which people could consume. When I talk about antioxidants in diet, also consuming food rich antioxidants can help to counter-react damage caused by brain cells by oxidants. It has been found that antioxidants help in enhancing your learning capabilities and can also help to enhance your memory. Antioxidants also reduce brain damage caused by stroke. So different foods that helps where you could find a lot of antioxidants are vegetables, fruits, walnuts, blueberries, fish and spinach are something that should be part of your diet always. The third one I was talking about calories. It has been found in research that a person can lead a better and a longer life by consuming a calorie restricted diet of about 25 to 50% less than normal. Research has also proven that when a person consumes lesser calories, his brain tends to function better and has greater memory, greater memory coordination, and these coordination skills what we talk about. The fifth technique is playing games. An individual who plays games has been found to have better problem solving, logical reasoning, decision making and information processing skills. This is because playing games helps to sharpen your brain and helps to enhance your mental condition. People who play games regularly also tend to perform better in various intelligence tests. Playing time-bound games help to boost up your reflex actions and reactions significantly to help you react better and faster. People who play games also have better hand-eye coordination. This is particularly useful in all ways of life and to perform any tasks that requires hand-eye coordination. One of the most useful benefits of playing games is that it helps to increase attention span. These people who play games regularly tend to have a larger and better attention span than against those who don't play regularly. Sixth technique is meditating daily. Research has proved that relaxation helps to enhance attention and sensation. Cerebral cortex controls the rational reasoning and visual processing function of your brain. Relaxation helps to improve the rational reasoning and visual processing skills. This is because relaxation increases the thickness of your cerebral cortex through increased cell activity, generation of new connections and the increased size of blood vessels in the area to support the increased activity. There are several other benefits of meditating and relaxing, such as it helps to combat high blood pressure, depression, insomnia, anxiety disorders and asthma even. Thus, you should learn to meditate daily and relax yourself through yoga or any of these practices. You can also visit a spa regularly and receive a massage, which would help you to unwind and relax better. The next big challenges is like basically remembering names and faces, and it's important for us when we work towards our memory how it would help. So in every walk of your life, right, you meet people with different names and faces. One of the best attributes that a person can have to appear to be nice, sociable and caring is the ability to remember people's names and faces. I don't know how many of you feel this challenging of remembering people's names and faces. So every time you remember a person's face and name, the person feels that you have cared enough to remember him. This is great way to make friends and be liked by the people around you. The ability to remember someone's face and name after just one meeting can be a great tool to help in rapport building, which goes a long way in successful career of a salesperson, a politician, a marketing executive, bosses and leaders. So you should always strive to improve your memory to remember people's names and faces, which can help you win votes, sales, customers, referrals and much more. Let us understand what could be those strategies that we use to remember names. So few powerful strategies which I'm going to talk to you right now, which will help you to remember people's names. Always pay attention the first time you meet someone. You should carefully listen to the person's name and face. If you feel that you have not been able to hear the name of that person clearly or correctly, you should always politely ask the person to repeat his name. After you feel you have correctly and clearly heard the person's name, you should always repeat the name of the person in a clever way, such as glad to meet you. Use a phrase and then connect their name over there. Always try to repeat the name throughout the conversation in a casual manner without overusing the name again and again. This will help you to rehearse the name without making the other person conscious of the fact that you're repeating their name again and again. Repeating and rehearsing the name will help you to transfer the name from your working to your long-term memory, right? From your short-term to your long-term memory. Always make sure that you use the name again as you take leave after meeting the person. You should also associate the name with someone to help you remember the name, right? If you could associate with some character or some person, it works wonders. If you happen to notice anything special about the person, you could choose to share this view with other person if it is in a positive opinion. Thus, this helps you to make an impression on the person in the first meeting itself and will also help you to remember the name better. You should always ask the person a question using his name. Use the name in the conversation at least once and always terminate the conversation by using the name again. Try to make visuals or any other special association with the name. That also helps. In case there are names does not have a direct meaning, you should try to break the name into meaningful parts to help and help you remember the name. Say for example, Jansi can be split into Jan, which is a short abbreviation of January, and C, which rhymes with the word sea. Right, this also works sometimes. You could also try to remember a name by trying to remember any other person you know of the same name, right? It also helps you to remember there. A useful way to remember titles of people such as doctor or colonel, it's important, right? If you do not address them with those titles, they might be offended. You could use images to associate with that person, such as a person holding an injection or a machine gun or wearing an army uniform or a doctor's white coat. Any of this association will help you remember that. A good way to remember a person's name the right way, as well as to build an impression. You can ask a person what the person prefers being called. This way, if a person has a long name such as Rosaline, many a times they would prefer being addressed by a short name called as Rose. Like I have a colleague in my office whose name is Subramaniam and he would like to be called as Subbu. It's important for us to understand from them and use it in your conversation. If you hear a name that sounds very weird and you are just not able to catch its pronunciation, you should always ask the person to spell it out, right? Their name for you. Try and associate the name of a person with any one special characteristics of the person to help you remember his name could also be used. Link the person's name with something that is important and meaningful to you so that the person's name stands out in your mind. You can always try and get the person to give you his business card. This will help you to act as a cue to help you remember his name. This is particularly useful when you are meeting many new people at the same time, such as in a meeting, parties, trade shows or seminars. Many a times we go in one interaction, we meet 20-30 people, and then it's important for us to remember their names, their face. You have a visiting card as a cue, which works wonders over here. At the end of every day, always make sure that reflect back on the day and review it to try to remember all the new people you met and their names as well. Make sure to write the names of people you meet as soon as the meeting gets over, and make a list of all the new names encountered in the day. It's a good habit when during a meeting, when you take a note, mention the name of the people who have been part of the meeting. It's also important. It will also help us to connect to what people were talking and which person was passing on what information there. You can also talk about the people you met in the day with your family at the end of the day as a recap session. This also works. So I've been talking about n number of strategies that could help remember names. You got to figure out which one works easy for you, works right for you, and try different strategies, and then slowly you will work towards building the skill of remembering names. Remembering faces is also pretty important. So few powerful strategies which is helpful to remember people's face. You should always observe and notice distinctive features about a person's face that helps you make his face unique from others when you meet someone for the first time. Right? Find what is it that is distinctive. Try and assign personal qualities of the person's nature to his face. For example, a person may be meek like a mouse and also have a small beard and eyes just like a mouse. Try putting that. Don't inform to the person, but that is for your memory to remember the face. Be careful to not to notice features about the person's face that may change over time, such as beard, mustache, eyeglasses and hairstyles. You should try and associate the person's face with his name if possible. You should always try and visualize the person's face in your mind to help you remember him. Always try to visualize every person's face in your mind, even if they are not present with you when you speak their names in the conversation. You can also try to associate a person's face with the place that the person comes from, as many people from common geographical areas do have certain similarities. It would become easy for you to remember the place and hence the face. Try and remember as much information about the person as possible to make a link between the information and his face. Try and associate a person's face with a similar face or someone that you know of or a celebrity and remember the person's face. Few things to keep in mind. One of the easiest ways to keep your brain alert, active and fully functional is by getting adequate sleep. Deprivation of sleep leads to forgetfulness and impaired functioning of the brain and depressed mood. Sleep helps to revise and restore your memory. Hence, it is essential to get enough sleep so that your brain can rest and you could work well and you could increase your memory power.